Hey, good evening. You know the drill. It's me, John. I'm playing Immaculate Grid. I'm going for the low rarity score. Hopefully better than I did yesterday when I missed on Eddie Matthews. Or at least I said that Eddie Matthews had won an MVP, and very specifically the 1953 MVP, which I was very sure of. Like in the back of my mind, I was sure that Eddie Matthews had won an MVP and it was for the 53 season. But in this weird way, I think if I'd listed out the MVPs of the 50s, I think I would have just talked myself, not that that was the exercise in the game yesterday, but I would have talked myself out of it because I knew Campanella had three MVPs. So I think I simultaneously was holding two very conflicting pieces of information, which is yeah, just kind of a weird nuance. Um, I'll start sharing here. Good job to all of you in the comments who beat me yesterday, which was pretty much all of y'all. So I'm gonna start sharing. We'll get back into it, and yeah, bang out refresh here. Let's see what we're playing with on Friday night. We got the Brewers, the still first place Brewers coming off a sweep at the hands of the LA Dodgers. But, you know, it was I was asleep for those losses. So did they really happen? Turns out, according to the standings, yes, they did. We got the Brewers, we got the Nationals slash Expos. And then the left side there, we got the Rockies, Reds, and Mets. And then we got to, for those three teams, we have to figure out somebody with a 100 RBI season. Um, let's see. Because I have a strategy here. So Brewers and Rockies, a couple names come to mind. Eric Young, he played for both teams. Dante Bichette played for both teams. Dante Bichette did really well one time. It was actually, I think, Rockies and Reds. And he only played a half season with the Reds, I think, or maybe it was a full season, but he didn't play very long with the Reds. And he'd still he got a substantial percentage. So I I'll maybe stay away from Diane Bichette because he's wow, did really well last time, or it did actually very poorly percentage wise last time I tried him. Um, Another really good one I think would be like Jamie Wright would work, Jeff Cirillo would work. They were traded for one another, but also in that trade was Mr. Henry Blanco. Another player who I'm not going to put here, but who would work is Jeffrey Hammonds. But I think I'm going to use him over here. Or at least I'm going to keep him open. But I'm going to use Henry Blanco, fantastic defensive catcher, wasn't a very good offensive catcher, but he did play for both teams. He made it until 2013. No kidding. See, good defensive catcher, you can hang around the league for a little while. Let's go ahead and select that. He takes a little under 1%. I've got a pretty good one here. How about Pete Carnage? Yeah. He played just a few games with the Brewers. It was the first season I was following the Brewers, so I knew he was a Brewer for like four starts. But he was real bad that 90, it was 97 season, but he resurrected his career with a couple of really good years with the Reds, 98, 99. Um, Also works for the Astros. Um, Played for the couple other teams. I know he played for the Astros. Um, but let's select him there. 98-99 was with the Reds where he resurrected his career. So him 0.3%. And let's see, Brewers and Mets. Jesse Orosco will work. Um, Famous reliever, very famous with the Mets. And he hits a lot of teams, so I think he might be one of those guys. I don't think I've used him before, but he hits a lot of teams. Um, Daryl Hamilton would be another option. I think Hamilton's in the lead for me there. Um, Jeremy Burnitz would work. He was a Met twice. Um, I don't know if Carlos Gomez would work because he was traded from the Mets to the Twins at one point, but he was not a I think that's right. But he was not a I don't think he was ever in the majors with the Twins. Or excuse me, with the Mets. Um Go with Burnett. He is the player one of these days I'll just grab it and bring it over here. It's like right there, but there's a picture of me um doing the national anthem with Jeremy Burnett, all-time favorite player for that reason. I'm gonna go with Darrell Hamilton. Play with the Mets, I think the second half of the 99 season, and maybe a little bit after that. Let's lock him in. All right, so I went under 1% for all the Brewers. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna get Hammonds in here because here are your Rockies. You've got your mid 90s Blake Street Bomber Yankees. Walker, Burks, Bichette, Castilla, Galarraga. That's five people right there. You have Todd Helton, had a substantially long career. Tulowitzki will work. Holiday will work. Um, I I think Story would work. I don't think Blackman works because he hits leadoff. Arenado would work. Carlos Gonzalez. So there's a lot of options here. Jeffrey Hammond seems to be the most obscure, and he would work for that far left-hand column. But he had his 2000 season. He had over 100 RBI. Brewers signed him to a pretty substantial deal at the time on the basis of that one season, which was obviously, influenced a little bit by the Coors Field effect. But let's get him in there. Takes 0.3%. That's pretty good. That might be as good as you were going to get from the Rockies. So there's a lot of options, but I mean, they're such a new franchise that you probably have a lot of people spread out between 5 and 15% or so. I'm kind of ballparking these numbers. Reds 100 RBI. You can hit a lot of the big red machine. Bench did it a number of times. Perez did it. George Foster had like 149 RBI in 1977. Morgan did it once. Frank Robinson will work as well. Dave Parker would work. Ken Griffey Jr. would work. Greg Vaughn would work. Joey Votto, I think, will be probably the most popular because he's more near term. Adam Dunn will work. He had 100 RBI several times. So there's a lot of options there. Question is, do I want to go? I think I can go a little bit older. I don't know how to spell this guy's name. I'm not even sure how to pronounce this guy's name. But he had big RBI seasons in the 50s. Klazuski, Ted Klazuski, that's the guy. Let's select him. Takes 2%. Okay, maybe I was better off going with like Perez because there was so many other people from the big red machine who would have worked. 2% is still pretty good. It was just I would assume he would have been lower than all the other people I just listed, but maybe not. Maybe like Greg Vaughn only played that one season in Cincinnati, and that season almost made an appearance. Actually, that season made an appearance, but for Mike Cameron, in my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities, which is on Amazon in the link below. That's the plug. Moving on. 100 RBI, New York Mets. I want to say Dave Kingman would work, but I'm not super sure on that. Strawberry works. I think Howard Johnson. I'm not actually sure on that. I think Eddie Murray would actually work. How about Bernard Gilkey? He had a sneaky, really good 1996 season. Along with Lance Johnson. I think it was I want to make sure I credit the right content creator. It's probably either Foolish Baseball or Jolly Olive. I sometimes mix up which one does which videos, but I'll make sure to include a link to that video, whichever content creator created it. But they talk about the 96 Mets and how they randomly had two awesome outfielders who were both worth like 8 WAR, but they weren't even a playoff team. Todd Hundley, speaking of the 96 Mets, he would work. And you got like Piazza, Edgar Alfonso, Robin Ventura, and then later on you get David Wright, Carlos Beltran, Carlos Delgado. Smattering of people. Not sure of anyone if I could come up with someone from like the 69 Mets, but Cleon Jones, but I think he was a leadoff hitter actually. Let's Throw Todd Hundley in there. I think he got, yeah, he gets to 100 RBI in 1996. 1%. All right. So now we're doing Expos and or Mets and Nationals. Sorry, Nationals and or Expos and Rockies, Reds, and Mets. There we go. I don't know why I said that in the wrong order. How about Mike Lansing? It's a 90s name. Goes under 1%. It's pretty good. I think Adam Dunn will probably be a very, very popular pick there. So let's try to avoid that if we can help it. Other Reds that have, oh, you know who will work is Tony Perez, who I didn't use for 100 RBI, but he played for the Expos. Oh, so did Pete Rose. Pete Rose got his 4,000th hit. I think that one will actually be sneaky popular. Not as sure on Perez. Trying to think. Dennis Martinez, did he ever play for the Reds? Not with a lot of confidence. I'm not saying that he did. Rondell White, if he ever played for the Reds. These are just guys who like bounced around a little bit. I almost said Francisco Cordero played for the Reds and Chad Cordero played for the Nationals. So don't mess that up. Yeah, let's go Tony Perez. 3%. All right, not bad. All right, let's conclude here with Mets and Nationals. Daniel Murphy would work. Max Scherzer would work. We could probably do better than that, right? Let's see. Hitting my Mets from it'll be easier if I do Mets from the late 90s because those teams were pretty bonkers. At least in terms of just raw star talent. They, made a couple playoff appearances, but um going around here, we got, Hundley and then Piazza at catcher. Don't think there's anything there. Olerud at first, Alfonso at second, Ventura at third, Ray Ordonez at shortstop. I think Ordonez hits the Devil Rays, but not the Nationals. And you got, let's see, Gilkey, Butch Husky, Lance Johnson. What if Brian McRae? I wonder if he ever made his way to the Nationals. Um, Lacing, didn't play with any of these people, but Lacing's Millage, it seems like he played for both those teams. Am I making that up? Bartolo Colon, he would work. He played a half season with the Expos. The question is Bartolo Colon just so popular because he was so fun that people remember that half season with the Expos for whom he was traded? They traded Cliff Lee, um, Brandon Phillips, and Grady Sizemore were all traded for Bartolo Colon, and they got a half season out of him. And then they either flipped him or he went to the White Sox after that. 2002, that was the year. Expos were really trying to save baseball in Montreal. They did not succeed. Show me Bartolo Colon, 3%. All right, Rarity score 12, pretty good. No huge surprise. I guess, yeah, I was right about Dunn. I was right about Votto. I was right about, yeah, Scherzer would be up there. I don't know if I actually said that, but Scherzer's up there. Mike Moustakas taking the Brewers and Rockies, but with only 15%. So wondering how some of those other guys did. Like Cirillo is a fan favorite. I don't know about Jamie Wright. Dante Bichette, I think, probably did pretty well. Moustakas is on both of these. These are both lower percentage categories. It's been tough games last couple. Or two of the last, yeah, I'll say the last three games because even with yesterday where I said that I mess up on Matthews pretty early, but as I acknowledged yesterday, I was not going to get a really good score. I was either going to lose or I was going to go with Jim Tomey and take a huge percentage on that on one of those. I guess it was Phillies and Twins. This is a pretty good percentage though. 12 is pretty happy with that. A little bit of a more regular distribution, more what I'm used to seeing here. Let's see. We'll do one of these. Let's do Mets 100 RBI season. Let's see how these I mentioned I don't think I mentioned Alonso or Lindor. Alonso I knew. I don't think I knew Lindor though. So, kudos to him last season. Um really good resurgent year. But I think I was right. Murray had exactly 100 RBI one of his years with the Mets. I don't remember if I was right. I guess he led the league. So I think I said I think Howard Johnson got to 100, but Howard Johnson easily got to 100 and led the league. So it's that Rusty Staub with 105 might have been the best pick there. So fun game. Once again, love doing this. Love the comments. Keep them coming. Have a great weekend. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Peace.